New viewers, my crypto channel does two things. First, because I know that you bought crypto only to take immediate losses on several occasions, I'm going to show you easy and actionable strategies on how to click around with your money with the confidence of being in a statistically probable winning trade. And two, I will take you from a crypto noob, buyer and prayer of hype coins like Cardano and OMI, and I will transform you into a profit pimp who takes profits like a boss. Do you want to buy and pray and have weak gains? Or do you want to take profits like a boss? If you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you the two videos that you need to see to further catapult yourself into a profitable crypto journey. And if you like what you see here and decide to subscribe to my channel, I have two rules for you. First, you got to leave me a comment about which crypto pronoun you have chosen, Cryptillion or Crypto Crackhead. And second rule is, once you've leveled up from your chosen crypto pronoun to a profit pimp with a 7-figure portfolio, you got to let me know about your evolution in the comment section. Cryptillions and Crypto Crackheads, are you ready? Go ahead and turn up the playback speed to 2x because you're about to get Timified. All right. I am remembering to make myself small first. Yay. I don't have to redo the video. Fantastic. All right. Okay. So I've been letting you all know that I had been on a crazy run with insane calls, right? Just ridiculous run. It was a month long, and I told you it was going to end sooner than later. It has like more than officially ended, right? I mean, some people could say maybe it ended with veracity, but still, you were able to potentially double your money and buy it back at 15% higher price than where you sold it. So I wouldn't technically say that, but I was wrong on Ethereum and Litecoin. So you don't hear a lot of trader types folks saying that stuff, but I've been forewarning you all that my run will end, right? So insane calls like BPro, when everybody thought I was incorrect about first off it getting rejected from this trend line that I made, right? The vertical, or this very aggressive light green trend line. Everybody said, no, what if it goes higher? And I very clearly said in multiple videos that now that it hit this, what's going to happen is, and I even remember I drew like this, it's going to go, when it was still here, I drew, it's going to go sideways for a month and hit this green line. I don't know if anybody believed me. It obviously happened, right? It could actually stay below that line and use it as resistance. I thought maybe it would come up soon and maybe use one of these as resistance or that as resistance or even this one. I still think that could be the play, but it went sideways for a month and hit the green line. So there you go. But anyway, I knew my run on really ridiculously good calls would end. Ethereum and Litecoin have officially ended it. So in retrospect, I wanted to recap what I missed so that you can see this play in the future. And, it's something I very clearly missed. So, and in retrospect, it was kind of easy to miss. So in essence, I've been feeling that Bitcoin has been way too hot for way too long, right? So mixed with that, I have had the thought that Litecoin and Bitcoin are going, or Litecoin and Ethereum are going to move with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin slows down, then so will these. What I missed was my origin lines here. And new viewers, I have in my description section, I have a set of library videos with links. So if I say anything like origin lines, EMA, or something like that, just look in the description section after the video and you have a library there for you. But anyway, I missed my origin lines, period. So the play on breaking these origin lines is that Litecoin is playing with this second white one up. So just simply looking what it did last time, right? It only had one hesitation, came back down, and then busted right through, and it went straight to the next one, right? So why didn't I think that would happen? Especially since Litecoin had recently already tested it and had a pretty decent retracement from it. I should have been able to see that. However, I was very caught. Yeah, and that's a 35% correction. That's really all it needed to break through. So in retrospect, I totally missed that. And honestly, now that I'm thinking, it could easily race right up to $500, and it probably will. With the idea of separation of powers, Bitcoin not forcing everything down as it goes down, I think now that I'm seeing this, I would say it's very, very likely. I wouldn't say over 50% chance, but I think it's by far the most likely scenario. Even if that scenario is only a 33% chance, there's no other scenario that's even 30% chance, for example. I think the most likely scenario is that Bitcoin, if it does, assuming it slows down in all those scenarios, it's very likely that it moves sideways and maybe stair steps up, does 3 steps up, 2 steps down, 4 steps up, 2 steps down, something like that over and over. Because I think coins that need to race up versus Bitcoin, essentially. So what's happening is Bitcoin's power this year hasn't even touched the weekly 21 since September of 2020. Unheard of from last bull run, right? Because of that strength, what is happening is that Litecoin versus Bitcoin and Ethereum versus Bitcoin are so darn low on their charts. If you zoom out here, they're so low that it's similar to the ratio. I picked the wrong one. It's similar to the ratio of silver to gold. I think that ratio is something like 16-1 or something like that. And so when people saw that silver got down to, I don't know, 30-1 or something, people got bullish on it, price snapped up. And typically when price snaps up, it snaps up beyond that, whatever ratio, and then levels back down to it. And I should have... that was a hard one to catch, but I think that's what's happening. So, for example, if I could find the right... I'll just pick Binance, even though it won't give me all the price history. But you can see here from the last run, Litecoin only got up to here, and it's really has been at the bottom of its chart. Even though it's been creeping up the whole time on the US dollar value, it has been at the bottom of its chart, right? So Bitcoin's ridiculous hotness, way hotter than 2017, is actually going to keep it stronger. It's going to see inertia, essentially. I think that's what's going to happen. And the inertia is not based off of Bitcoin itself, but because Bitcoin drove down coins like Litecoin, Ethereum on the Bitcoin pairing, right? So for new viewers, there's a US dollar pairing and a Bitcoin pairing for most coins. Even though coins have been going up in dollar value, they've been going down versus Bitcoin. Even Cardano was, right? And Cardano is still not even halfway up its graph. Cardano is farther up on its graph than this. It's maybe about here. But anyway, so versus the Bitcoin pairing, things have been so low that they're just going to snap because of whatever ratio. Like they're going to race to a median, right? Or some best fit trend line or something like that. And so the inertia from Bitcoin is not from Bitcoin itself, but it's from people being bullish on other large cap coins, right? Who just bring up the overall market sentiment that throwing money at crypto is a great idea. And for these types of coins, I mean, on a charting and statistical likelihood, it is. And so it's like a vicarious inertia that at Bitcoin's aggressive move up. I mean, literally moving like a small, like a 50 million cap coin. I mean, it's been aggressive. It's been insane. And because of that, I think that's what's happening. And I'm not ruling out a drop down to that origin line again, like a 30% drop. I wouldn't rule that out as a super unlikely scenario until Wednesday of next week. So I want this week candle to close, and I want to see 2 full days of next week's candle, just to make sure it won't go up green one more time and then scream down. So by the 3rd day, we'll be able to know that on the weekly candle. And this weekly closes again for new viewers and returning viewers, New York time, so 8 p.m. Eastern, so New York City time, this Sunday at 8 p.m. So for Europe, that would actually be Monday, in the morning and stuff. Or like when you're sleeping, hopefully at 4 a.m. I think your Britain to Germany is 5 hours ahead of New York right now. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's what's going on, and I missed that. That was it is a very complex and many points on the line to see that. And since it did not happen this way in 2017, it was an easy one to miss. So I think that's what I missed, and I wanted you all to know that. But the cool thing is, though, I've been telling you for quite a while, my run and my role of making these calls as everything's flying up and, dipping a little here, dipping a little there, it's going to end, and it's definitely ended. I totally missed that. So look at the right-hand side of my screen. Like everything's red, right? And so one other thing to really look out for is the interplay between large caps and mid-tier caps and small caps. So since my channel focuses a lot on the huge ROI potential in small cap coins because they move way faster, way more aggressive than Cardano ever will, than 𝐿 ever will. Even though 𝐿 has done like a 29x, that was pretty aggressive, but it started off at like 100 million caps. So, but it's not gonna 30x again. I'll tell you that right now. But anyway, so because I focus on that, it's really important that viewers of my channel, you need to understand the ebb and flow of large caps / mid caps, but large caps to small caps and how those move. So typically, looking at Bitcoin here on the week, whenever you're pulling out of a bear market like this, so a lot of people thought the bull market began. Whoopsie doops. Actually, no, it didn't. Okay, are we out of the bear market? Is the bull market beginning? I think it is. Okay, it definitely is now. So right around here, Bitcoin is almost always, in that point in the market cycle, Bitcoin is almost always the leader. It goes up bigger and faster than everything, even Ethereum, right? By a mile. And it really has gone up super fast. So it's a first mover. And then after that, what follows in its wake are the large cap coins. Even though some of them didn't perform, like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin haven't been included, but Binance Coin and XRP doesn't really count because it always lags behind everything and then pops all at once. I don't know why it behaves that way. But things like Ethereum and some of the other top 10 coins, they will then move along with Bitcoin once it's extremely clear, especially once it passed this $14,000 mark roughly, like then they started moving. And if you compared graphs, you would see them starting to move around, November 2020. And then around here, your mid-tier coins start moving, coins at that time, before things got really hot. That might have been around the 40 million. Like even Theta was between 40 million and 110 million. It was a mid-tier coin, and it was starting to gain some legs around here, with Bitcoin being the first mover, large cap being the second movers, mid-tier being the third movers. And then once Bitcoin broke all-time highs and started really doing impressive stuff, I guess all-time high was about here actually. So, but anyway, and started getting impressive, then people started taking profits. Okay, in Bitcoin, especially around here at 40,000. And people taking profits and knowing that Bitcoin has been hot, a lot of those people are utilizing those profits of Bitcoin to then buy small cap coins. And when that amount of money flows into small cap coins, they pop hard. So that's kind of like the ebb and flow. Imagine Bitcoin is in pool, like billiards. Bitcoin is the cue ball, right? The large caps is the first ball you hit, but you're doing a combo shot, right? So you have 3 balls in play: the cue ball and 2, let's say, solid balls, the 7 and the 1 or something. You hit the 1 ball, that's the large cap, and then small and mid-tier caps are the third ball that gets hit and goes in the pocket, hopefully, right? If you're decent at pool. Those are pretty hard shots. So that is the interplay among these coins. Now, what's happening here is, I think the large cap coins are having their moment to shine as Bitcoin cools its tits, and because small caps have had their time to shine for about 2.25 months here, since early February, they're not just cooling their tits, but they correct harder typically than most coins, because they move up faster. They also move down faster, which actually there's a ton of money in playing ranges, as my viewers well know. Honestly, new viewers, if you go back on some of my previous videos, I show you exact levels, buy and sell, and you'll see how much, like, you can double your money like 2 and 3 times in the matter of 3 weeks. And playing ranges is honestly more profitable than just buying Cardano and waiting. Like, you can make so much more money. You can make more money in 5 weeks doing that, playing ranges of small and mid-tier cap coins, or coins under 100 million, than you will all year with the same initial dollar value holding 𝐿. Well, maybe not 𝐿. 𝐿 had a good run, but holding Cardano, you will. So go back on some of my videos and watch that. It's true. And my current cryptillions and crypto crackheads will probably make comments on it, and they're balling right now. I mean, they're kicking ass. Yeah, I mean, on my Discord that is linked through Patreon, I just had a follow-up call with somebody today for one of my from the highest tier, and it sounds like the VIP tier is really kicking ass right now. I'm actually a Patreon community. I'm impressed. I heard a lot of good stuff. I essentially had somebody give me the scoop. Since my presence there is not huge, but that's the entire point. It's you're supposed to make it your community, and 100 heads or shit. It's actually more like 400 of you VIPs. My goodness, it's the biggest group, but 400 of you are going to be way better than me, than any one head, right? So you should be, coming up with great scouting opportunities, which you're doing. And actually, I'm taking some of those, and I'm going to try to play them myself. I just started moving getting into some tether and planning that today. And so thank you, Patreon community. I'm actually benefiting from it as well. But anyway, there's so much money in ranges and breakouts than just buying and praying. I'm telling you. So viewers, if you can, Cryptilians and Crypto Crackheads, if you can leave a comment, kind of saying a success story in 2 or 3 sentences, don't make it a book. So new viewers can see your successes. That would be great. Because it's really hard to convince people, returning folks. It's really hard to understand as a retail investor that, Cardano is such a great project. Okay, I get it. But do you understand that it's bigger than Ford Motor Company with 0 revenue, and it doesn't have a working product that's rolled out? No company is using Cardano on its blockchain as an actual business solution yet. And it's bigger than Ford Motor Company. So buying and praying that kind of coin, okay, it might be a great project, but you're going to make a lot more money in small and mid-tier caps playing ranges alone, right? So it's hard to understand that. So if you guys can leave a couple success stories in the comment section, I would be really grateful, because you're going to be, a few of you who do that, and a new viewer sees that, you can help change their life. As opposed to being a buyer and prayer with freaking weak gains. But it's a hard pill to swallow. And I think that can help a lot of people, you putting in 15 seconds of effort. So anyway, that is what I'm seeing market sentiment wise. And I'm not going to do any other Bitcoin and Litecoin general market sentiment updates here. I'm going to move into my small cap reviews right now. And so by Wednesday of next week, I think we're going to know if what I have been saying is possible, but probably not probable. I would say not probable. What to be cautious for is that the coins, Ethereum, especially, so Ethereum doing the same thing. It really will probably race up to this next origin line here, right? So this next origin line is real, like and the price will be attracted to it. So see how many times it acted as support here and then acted as resistance. That line will it will suck price up to it. And see what happened last time. Price actually went past it and came down and used it as support. Will that happen this time? Maybe. Honestly, Ethereum might go straight up to 5,500, 5,400, and then land back down on 4,500. It might not have a decent correction until then. It could easily double in price. However, even though I think that is probably slightly more likely than any other scenario, even sideways movement, I still warn folks, be cautious, because what also could suck price down is the idea, really the antithesis of what I was saying earlier about Bitcoin's inertia, Bitcoin having gotten so hot. What could happen is Bitcoin really did get so hot, and if it does move sideways long enough as that Coinbase, IPO kind of sees a lot of red candles, what could happen is people could start taking a lot of profits right now, and Bitcoin could see a correction, which would turn this bi-weekly candle, as I discussed in 3 videos ago, it could turn it into a red candle that begins here, goes like this, and is a big wick. It could easily happen. So I still want you all to be cautious about that, and I'm not going to go over all those, because that's just how the bi-weekly works. So new viewers, look at this. The bi-weekly, it started off green, big green fat dildo, then bam, right? See this bi-weekly started off as a green dildo. This was all green, and then it crashed down, and then it kept going. That's how things play. A lot of the local tops are a bi-weekly candle. That looks super bullish. Look how this closed. This candle closed with 0 wick. That means price is screaming up. It closed at its high, and then it kept screaming, and then boom, right? So you need to be careful. That's just how it happens. Local tops are very, very often a bi-weekly candle that starts off freaking green after an awesome close of the previous bi-weekly. So this happens twice in a month, right? So 2-week candle. So I need you to be cautious of this. even though since, you know, Ethereum's already passed this origin line, came down to test it, I think it's way less than 50% chance it comes down to test it in retrospect. And the reason I thought it was actually the most likely scenario earlier is because simply Bitcoin's been too hot. But if I can ignore Bitcoin, sorry, my side itched. I get itchy when I do videos. Because Bitcoin's been so hot, I kind of thought it would, but I was ignoring, you know, I was ignoring Ethereum for what it is. I was ignoring Litecoin for what it is. And I was overlooking the fact that it needs to, it's probably going to race up here. So none of this played out last time in 2017. It's a very special bull run. This bull run is going to be awesome. So much money making potential if you're not buying and praying and waiting. All right. So for new viewers, let me show you just one thing. Actually, two things. Watch, and then I'll move on to small caps. Cardano. This is why buying and praying is horrible. Look how long Cardano has been going sideways. I would say maybe from that top, because right now price is only 17% above that top, right? Or about 20%. So I would say sideways from here. Look how long your money hasn't moved. 55 days. In small caps, you could have doubled your money just playing ranges easily 5 times. That's if you aren't good at it. And then after you double your money 5 times, you can buy more Cardano now because it's only from this local top to current price, even with this big green candle, right? Actually, let's just say 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago, it's 10% above the price 55 days ago. Just 4 hours ago. And currently, it's only 18%. So buying and praying ties up your money. And you are losing out on so much opportunity cost. Do you see what I'm saying? It is simple math. And by the guidance of this channel and the community here, you know at which levels is smart to sell. Even if price goes a little above it, doesn't matter. You're going to be moving into something else, double it a couple times, and come back, kind of like Veracity. If Veracity does what I think it does, that might actually be the one coin that makes me a liar here. But it'll probably come back down. But anyway, even if you sell a little too early, it doesn't matter. You're doubling your money more times as this goes sideways or up a little tiny bit, and then you buy it back 20% higher than where you sold it. Right? There's so much more money. Or Phantom. Right? Look how long this has moved sideways and down. Imagine being a buyer and prayer and holding this for 50 days. As your money drops, freaking 50%. Now, can he sell the top? Absolutely not. I'm not one of those jackasses who like tries to sell to his viewers. We sell tops. Buy here or sell here, buy here. If you see anybody say that, get that off their channel immediately, first off. No, but we have a system here on our channel to sell close to the tops. And that works very well on altcoins. It doesn't work as well on Bitcoin. It's when the 2-hour RSI gets below its moving average, which is the white line. It comes up to try to retest it, rejection, comes up again, gets rejected the second time, angles down. That's at 20. That happened at 1300 hours on February 25th. 1300 hours right there on that candle. Sold there with that system. All right. Yeah. And then you can go double it multiple times and then buy it back even lower. Do you see how much more profitable this is? Tuning into this channel. I'm trying to help you all. Anyway, so, all right, Dogecoin. That's going to be getting a lot of stuff. And honestly, VeChain's on its hair. So when you see stuff like this, you know, don't chase green candles. So the people who chase this freaking candle, okay, you know, guess how much they saw their money go down? Like not even the top. They saw their money go down 35% in the matter of 4 hours. So when things get this hot, especially a big cap, I mean, these are the moments you need to be selling. And even selling like here too early, it doesn't matter. You could have bought back lower, right? That's the whole point, right? So for new viewers, I mean, if you're chasing If you're chasing green candles, you're setting yourself up to get screwed. You buy red candles and ranges and breakouts, right? So buying a breakout after this candle like was racing above here, that's when you buy. Okay? Or you buy when you think, oh, it's gotten too hot, it's probably going to come back down to these two levels, or maybe at this wick. So I'm going to buy some back here, some back here. You buy red candles. So don't be chasing. I know this is going to be all over YouTube, Dogecoin, and people are going to be saying bullish to the moon, all that stuff. They're going to screw you. Because most YouTubers in crypto don't know what the hell they're talking about. They read white papers and like do interviews and stuff. They don't know jack shit about the price movement and the psychology behind it. Right? So a lot of folks in crypto, they get totally screwed by YouTubers. So that's really the basis of my channel, is to help you not get screwed because of YouTubers giving bad information, honestly. So don't chase green candles. Don't buy glory. Okay? Buy blood and breakouts and dips. Which dips is a form of blood, but all right, so VeChain, perhaps the same thing here. I mean, even though this did just break out a little bit ago, this might have more in it. But as cryptolians and crypto crackheads know, actually, that's not much past its breakout. I guess you might be kind of safe actually getting in it. This isn't very far. So our rule is once it's 10% past a breakout, you don't want to get into it. It's getting close. So this would be early enough for me to give it a shot, even though I don't play on it with big cap coins. They move too slowly. They double too slowly, right? So we play small caps that double quickly. Yeah, this probably won't correct for quite a bit. I mean, if you look at the trend here, each pop up, 30%. See, it didn't double, right? It's a big cap coin. 39%. So it'll probably go about 40% here. Yeah, so it'll go up to 23 cents. Most likely, and then because the trend is also coming back down, those are pretty good. This is actually stair stepping pretty healthily. This price action is very healthy. VeChain looks really stable right now. This is a good chart, actually, even though I think it's one of the most hyped coins and overvalued coins because its blockchain is not being used by companies. They're just marketing to you. So more investors buy their crap so they can keep paying their bills like their light and their overhead and their employees because very few companies are paying VeChain to use their blockchain. Their blockchain is like not one of the most used in the world, therefore it's not being used much, right? But anyway, but this graph looks great. So honestly, I don't go into white papers, I go into graphs. This is a pretty good graph, I won't lie. As much as I kind of dog on VeChain, this is healthy. So I guess YouTubers haven't been really spoiling much here. But if you listen, but the thing is, YouTubers start talking about it here, and they start talking about it here, right? They don't talk about a freaking breakout. They talk about it when it's broken out. And that's how people get screwed, right? So right now, it might be early enough, just barely. But by the time you see this, it's probably over 20 cents. So if you see YouTubers talking about it, well, guess what the trend is? Goes up about 38%, then goes down 15. So there you go. Watch out. But this is a very healthy chart. I will actually give it to VeChain here. For as aggressive of this as this has been, this is this is way healthier than Dogecoin. I would feel way more comfortable getting into this than Dogecoin. So this looks really good. Even compared to Bitcoin, I think this price action is healthier than what Bitcoin says. I mean, Bitcoin has been way hotter than this. Just measure, right? Not even from its bottom, because you can't give strength to a coin's weakness. So when people say Ethereum's outperformed Bitcoin, no, it hasn't. You can't attribute its weakness of having dropped more. It dropped 95%. Bitcoin didn't. Just because it went down further doesn't mean it's strong coming back up. No, you have to have a litmus test, right? And the litmus test really is its all-time high. Bitcoin's way past double its all-time high. And Ethereum isn't, period. It has not outperformed Bitcoin. Like, not even close. So you can't attribute that. But I would say breakout like from that point. So it's gas tank, kind of all this resistance here. Oh, I guess this is hotter. Has Bitcoin gone up 28? 50? Let's say from some resistance level like 6,200. This is something like, no, that's 69. Let's see here. No, so I guess it has been hotter. It doesn't look hotter, and that's because it's been a very healthy hotness. And no, I'm not talking about myself, healthy and hotness. Graph looks pretty good. However, if you zoom out on the weekly, it does look like it's getting pretty hot. So if you see trends on the weekly, then it's stair stepping, and it looks like this is a bigger one of the bigger stair steps. So watch out. Like, it might not go up 40% from that candle. Actually, I would say I would measure from here, and this looks pretty high relative. So maybe I wouldn't try getting into that, even if it's 10% over, but it still looks good. All right, so that's VeChain, Dogecoin. Be really careful about, because YouTubers start talking about it at tops. People love buying tops. Please be careful. All right, small cap coins. We're gonna have to make this fast because I'm getting hungry. Oh, this is VIA versus BTC, USD. All right, yep, that's still hovering around that point. So as I covered yesterday, same deal. I think the play is one of two things. Either it will find support for the two reasons it has. It has a clear horizontal, and it has the 4-hour 200 EMA coming up, which is kind of the play in crypto. However, when coins do break below it, there is a reason for it, right? And oftentimes the reason for it is, the weekly 10. And it likes to touch it, just like BPRO did, as I've been trying to tell everybody for over a month. It won't have another pump until it touches the weekly 10, which it literally just did today or last night. So it will, if it breaks this, it will do it in order to hit the weekly 10, which is the trend. Look, weekly 10. I mean, just freaking look at this. Weekly 10, weekly 10, weekly 10, weekly 10, 10, 10, 10. So there's actually a pretty high probability that it will come down below $1.40 to about $1.20. But things are pretty strong right now, and this is one of those that has been very low on its Bitcoin chart. However, this one did just get rejected for the first time on an origin line, right? So this one might be real. Like this one actually might correct a decent amount, and it could end up hitting, it could be attracted down to like where these wicks, all these wicks are, and that candle body, it could be attracted down to 87 cents as the weekly 21's coming. Is that statistically more than 50% chance? No, but I would say it's at least a double-digit chance, 10% chance. So, I mean, having taken profits at $1.30, as you see ViaCoin scream up to $3, I know it's a bad feeling, but look where it is now. If you've doubled your money once or twice since then you actually didn't miss out on anything, given the fact that you can't freaking sell tops, right? That's why you take profits like a boss. You profit pimping. All right, here we go. AXPR weekly chart just had the cross. So new viewers, the cross is essentially the weekly 10 EMA. Look in my description section, library videos. The red cross above the yellow. Essentially, I show you how to set up my chart. And price is correcting back into it. It's like the most common play in small caps right now. And now we can see nothing. So yeah, it actually could come down a little lower. I would expect it to come down here unless it has one thing going for it. It's already corrected 50%, which it has not. This line, guess where it is? Between my golden numbers of 40 and 60% of a correction. So yeah, it's probably going to hit this line of, I'm on the weekly chart of AXPR. That amount is 0.5049-ish. 0.5, so 0.48 with 5 zeros in front of the 48. All right, ADB. Getting its ass kicked here, but this is the type, so new viewers, this is the kind of crap you buy. You have a statistically likely probability of being in a winning trade if you buy around this horizontal. The way I make the horizontal, how? I just look for candle bodies of the weekly, looking, which way's left to you? Looking left, like years in history, and seeing where they aligned. Make a trend line and freaking go. And actually, I missed a trend line. I should have put one here, and look to where price actually perfectly wicked down to. Look how freaking easy this is. Like, Look how easy it is to be a profit pimp. Statistical probability of being in a winning trade. Just buying horizontals. It's that easy. It's that easy. So that's what we got for there. I think it might cool its tits for a bit. And honestly, this might be a great range to play. So if you can try to play this range, it might not come down all the way down here, but if you even played this trend line up to not even to the top, that's 1.5 extra money. If you do that, twice, you're more than doubling your money. So this probably will play the range a few times. BPRO. lo and behold, what did it just hit? It hit its weekly 10 on both the dollar pairing. I guess I can't zoom in anymore. Hit it on the dollar pairing and on the Bitcoin pairing. And what did I say about 4 weeks ago? I should clean up this chart. This looks awful. When everybody said, what if it goes higher? What if it goes higher? You know, as it hit 4.5 cents. And I said, it won't. Said it'll go sideways for a month. And I said specifically in more than one video, don't believe me, go back and look at them from roughly the date of March 16th to March 20th, somewhere around there. Look at those videos. I said, BPRO will not go on another pump until it hits its weekly 10 EMA. And I didn't specify which one, the Bitcoin pairing or the dollar pairing, but freaking I guess what happened? It hit both of them. Wow. Right? So yeah, I mean, this, like, you know, this isn't my first rodeo. I know it's hard to understand that price could, you know, go down this low, but, you know, I've already been through this. So I've seen way worse than that. Like, wait till the bear market, folks. You're going to see stuff lose 98% of its value. New viewers, watch my market cycle and crashes video. Very important. It's going to happen again. This time is not different. You're fooling yourself. You are entering a statistically improbable and, statistically, you're entering a trade or a bet. If you think this time will be different and go up forever, you're entering a statistically probable situation where you're going to lose a shit ton of your money. So don't bet on that. It'd be stupid. Could it happen? Yes. But would you bet on it? No. Don't be stupid. Right? Be statistically probable. That's what you want to do. All right. So that's BPRO. Bolt. Gosh, somebody. I guess it did find that. So didn't I say in my last video Bolt might play this? Or no, it was already hitting this in my last video. I thought Bolt wicked even lower than this though. It did. Oh yeah, it wicked down to here. Okay, it did wick past it. So if anybody caught it a little bit below this line, good for you, because there is a real trend line here. And it kind of looked like it wasn't going to play it, but it did. So Bolt, I think, has now satisfied what needs to happen in order for it to make all-time highs and scrape. This looks good. The weekly 10's not far. It doesn't need to touch the weekly 10 because it did not pump hard, right? This is not a hard. Let's actually hold on. From that breakout. Yeah, it probably doesn't need to touch it again. Even though this is really stair-steppy, but if it does touch it again, you know, and it takes another 2 weeks to do so, it's even better. You know, even though you have your money tied up there and you could be doubling it somewhere else. I mean, look how red this crap is on the right-hand side. It's not as easy to double your money as Bitcoin's going sideways. And this ebb and flow right now, small alts are cooling their tits. The big caps are stealing the show right now, which it happens. But over time, the small caps, like, your ROI is so much higher, right? So it's kind of a fine balance between ROI potential, getting out of Bolt, this and that. But honestly, it's one of my December HODL coins, so I'm perfectly comfortable. Now, if you were trying to use this as a quick breakout and 100 bag it and get out and buy some coin like Cardano that you wanted to because you're trying to double your money, sure, get the hell out of it. You know, you shouldn't be in it still. But if you're considering this as a HODL-ish coin and you're not trying to double your money quickly, like, yeah, this is honestly better. Like, if it hits the weekly 10 in 2 weeks, that's better. Like, it'll go up higher. A lot higher. All right. I actually got to kind of start racing here. Yeah, same thing. Cap. I mean, it's hitting trend line. And where did I form this easy trend line? From all these candle bodies here, right? Very easy. Wicks, candle bodies, statistically probable trade. So yeah, I mean, it's just cooling its tits. It likely won't go below there. If it does, it might do it in order to wick down to this weekly 10, just like BPRO's doing. It could wick down that far, and that looks like a pretty big drop. But if it drops that far, it won't be. No, it's got the 55 holding it up. It might hit that daily 55, but that's just above the weekly 10. So if it does drop, it'll be a quick drop. It'll come back up. COV. If it drops, it'll come down to this trend line here. So it's already at a trend line. I think it's statistically improbable that it does drop any further, but if it does, COV will hit on the Bitcoin pairing. .001206, something like that. Is there any moving average, key moving average that could suck it into it? Yeah, the daily 55. Where's the weekly 10? Actually, it could wick down to the weekly 10, which is at 1246, which is above the trend line I stated, so it probably won't hit that trend line. It'll stop at the the weekly 10 and or the daily 55, which are almost identical. So if it wicks, it'll only do it quickly. This looks really healthy. CPC looks healthy. It has really been basing off of and closing confidently above. It's honestly, this looks really good. This looks like it's going to scream soon. That's 4 weeks consolidating right above its weekly 10 after a cross, right? The red and the yellow, and it's getting rejected, just building up power, trying to bust through the weekly 55, which is, in my last video I said, is the common play, getting rejected, coming back down. This one looks ready. This will go before Bolt does, I bet. Hint, hint. CRP, I don't know anything about this coin. I think my viewers have been watching this, but I mean, it has closed above its weekly 10 4 times, and it's opened above 3 times. It opened above this week. It'll probably close above this week too, if I had to guess. I think this, within 2 days and 7 hours, I bet it closes above. So whatever this coin is, this is from my Patreon community. Yeah, I mean, it could go pretty soon, honestly. It could respect that that cross. Credits, yeah, this really had a big correction. So on a percentage basis, I bet it satisfied the 40 to 60. Oh yeah, 50. It went down almost perfectly to this trend line where all the wicks are. So, and it hit its weekly 10, almost the weekly 21. So this one's done correcting credits. I don't think it'll see lower. I don't think price will go below where it is now, which is so 5 zeros 153. I think it's done. That's all it needed. It'll probably and when it gets back to the top of the range, honestly, it might not come back down. It probably won't come back down to the bottom of the range because it has no reason to. Okay, car vertical. Car vertical will probably come down to test its. So it's stopping at this trend line here. It might stay there and go sideways and then wick down to the weekly 10 once it crosses this level of, I think it's 6 zeros 347. But it could wick down to touch it. So car vertical might move sideways for 2 more weeks and then have a quick wick down to touch it because the weekly 10 will be higher at that point at that trend line. So I think the play is actually sideways for 2 more weeks on that one. I don't think it'll drop below that. It'll wait for it to catch up. DAPPT still stair stepping. It's at the bottom of a stair step right now though. Yeah, it's really close to its 4-hour 200 EMA, staying the same distance away. I mean, if you measure up, how close did it get? 8%. How close did it get? 9%. How close did it get? 9%. Yeah, so I think it's ready to test the top of the range. I think DAPPT is about ready to go. Once it hits the top of the range, it might get rejected halfway and then bounce and then go up. I don't think this is going to break this trend line. It could though. So if it did, what would it hit? Daily 55. The daily 55 with this trend line could suck it down. Where's the weekly 10? Yeah, that's right with the weekly 10. I don't know. It could actually fall down to 0.00697 because these candle bodies closing here, and in 2 weeks, the weekly 10 will be exactly at that, or actually in 1 week, the weekly 10 will be at that level. So I don't know. There might be like a strong chance, like 30 to 40% chance DAPPT does fall down to the 0.007 mark because of those reasons. So typically when things break a support, it is for a reason, and a reason that it's approaching it. Usually it's a strong trend line below that, which wouldn't be approaching it, I guess, or it's a moving average that's very strong that's coming up to it. DGTX, very similar to, what did we just cover? Was it COV? No. CRPT? Yeah, same deal. So it's closing pretty confidently above its weekly 10 multiple times, and it's going to have a cross soon. So that one, I mean, that one could look good in like 2 weeks. I typically like 4 closes above the weekly 10 to want to put my money to work quickly in a coin, because if you do it on 1 closing, you're probably going to have your money stuck moving sideways for 3 more weeks, right? 4 is kind of the magic number with the weekly 10 for some reason. This has done a full 60+% correction. What is this? EFX. It's at a major trend line. It's so, okay. Even though this is a bloody, bloody dip, what I don't like about this is that if you were to get into EFX right now, I don't think it'll race up. I think it's going to get rejected from its weekly 21 because it's closing below its 10. So I would wait till I saw at least 2 closes above its 10 and peeks its head out above the 21. I would easily prefer to miss out on 50% price action up, because I think I could put my money to work faster somewhere else that does 100% gains faster than this will do 50% gains. But once it does that, then it'll probably fly. But I don't want my money tied up into this for that long. So that's what I got for EFX. Let me try to do, what is this? Fuchs coin. Look how perfectly hit it with its weekly 10. So this one's probably done correcting on a percentage basis. It's already, yeah, it's gone past, yeah, that is this a perfect time to buy it? I don't know. Where's it at now? I don't know. That looks like a pretty good formation. It looks like it wants to stay above. So FKX versus BTC, it looks like, since it wicked down so low, it looks like it's going to stay above its daily 10 now, which is coming in at 0.608455. All right, idea, same deal. It's still flirting with its all-time high of 50 cents, even though it's 5 cents above it. MAP is still stair-stepping, and it's hitting its daily 21. It'll probably keep riding that. It might wick down below, but I think similar to DAPPT, I think it's kind of going to be forming a triangle and break out of it. New viewers, I think pattern traders are kind of chumpy. I think they're bottom feeders, but triangles absolutely work, mostly because it's based off moving averages being diagonal in a bullish market. That's why triangles form. So pattern traders don't understand the reason why they're trading patterns. That's why pattern traders feeders. But anyway, typically, I mean, that's my opinion. I can't, I don't want to hurt anybody else's brand or anything like that. It's not my attempt. That's just an opinion and the reason for my opinion, because you simply miss out on the market psychology on why the patterns are. You're just trading like like a toddler could, putting shapes into like the game where you put them through the hole or whatever, or the puzzles. It's kind of basic, I guess, and sometimes simple is good, but yeah, I don't know. You're not. It makes you not understand the reasons why behind it. Yeah, MAP versus BTC, kind of same deal. All right, MTV. I think it's got more to go. I still think it's gonna. I think MTV is gonna hit that 0.009 mark. I'm almost certain of it. So I think it's an extremely high probability. OLT, I think, is done correcting. Yeah, it hits daily 200. That will stop it. So its daily 200 is coming in at I think it's 6/0/30/11. It's not going to go below that. It had its daily golden cross of the 55 and the 200 EMA, which is not textbook golden cross, but it's good enough. And it went exactly. But the reason I use it is because it exactly hit the 200 EMA, right? Almost to like the like a tenth of a Satoshi or whatever the hell that is. All right. Same with OPCT. It hit its daily 55, which should be also the weekly 10. Yes, exactly. This one's done correcting. I don't see it go any lower than current price, actually. It has no reason to. It's done it's kind of like BPRO. It did what it needs to do. Now, will it play its range once or twice? Maybe. But it doesn't need to. So coins that actually did hit its weekly 10, it could just break right through its range. So just a heads up there. Coins that have satisfied hitting its weekly 10, the play might not be go up, test, come all the way back down, because it doesn't need to come back down. It already did it, right? You gotta get down to get up. And the reason ranges happen is because you didn't get down quite enough. So you're allowing what you're trying to touch to catch up as you go up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're moving sideways essentially, but in a range. And then your weekly 10 catches up, and then you touch it and you go. So the coins that have peaked down below to touch it, they don't need range. Hero is one that probably does need range because it popped up so high. It's at support levels that it probably won't break, and its weekly 10 will probably take 5 weeks to catch up. Will it touch its weekly 10? Probably not. It might go before it hits it, but Play or Hero coin might be one that needs to go sideways for a while. Okay, Ruby, be careful. Yes, it is. So I have conflicting messages here. On the daily chart, most coins, actually almost all coins that have, so it has a golden cross coming, and it's going to happen in a matter of like a week, right? Almost all coins correct back down into it, but Ruby is a slightly different. It also just had its cross on the weekly, and it already retested its cross. So that would be an argument or creating a statistically more likely scenario that this would be an exception to that rule on the daily because it already corrected into a weekly cross. I think that lowers the statistical chance of it following the market trend of correcting back down into its daily cross. So honestly, I would lean towards it doesn't. But the trend is that it does. So I don't know. I would be careful with this one. I would be taking profits at trend lines, which it's kind of at now. So anyway. And Anyway, but this is for entertainment only. I am not a financial advisor and I do not offer financial advice. This came down exactly to that. So new viewers, look at this. Look how easy this is. Look at a weekly wick. Try to sell there, right? Or just try to sell some there and some there because the candle bodies are real too. Cero, I think it can come back down to the bottom of its to 30.3 cents actually. Shaw, whoa! Shaw had a nasty. So if you caught Shaw at its just below its weekly 10, congrats. That was a nasty. So that's a very strong reaction. Shaw might make all-time highs next week. That is a hell of a reaction off of that. Damn. I wish I would have been trying to play that. Son of a gun. How much up would you be on your money? Like just instantly. 25%. Dang. Statistically probable winning trades. Buying blood. Not YouTube freaking green candles, new viewers. There's so much more money in what Cryptolians, crypto crackheads are doing, I'm telling you. Silo, it looks like it wants to range for quite a while because it needs to touch its weekly 10. Yeah, it hasn't done it for several weeks. All right, I think that's all I got for you. I got to get off here. I got calls coming up, and I got to upload this video. So, is there anything else? Trias was one that everybody's hot on. The weekly looks good. The weekly versus BTC actually looks really good. The weekly on the dollar pairing looks really good too. Am I missing anything on the daily? And it's coming down to test the trend line. This might be a pretty good moment for it. That everything's looking good, and you'd be buying a big red dildo. Shit, I might try to get... Yeah, no, this is a horrible buy. Stay away from it. I have no interest in this coin whatsoever. All right. Hey, y'all, you just got Timified. Again, you should be seeing my last video and suggested video for you, new viewers here. Pop up on the screen somewhere. I don't know. If you haven't subscribed and you like what you saw, you should be able to do it here somewhere in the middle. And, yeah, you just got Timified. We'll see you tomorrow.